Those three aspects, now when you put them all together, makes everything work. Now, if we take a look at this from the start, so let's start this at the beginning, and we'll take a look at the three pillars. This is how we make our trading systems work. This is why they function the way they do. This is how we can make money trading these trading systems the way we do, is because we have these three core pillars that we're looking for. We were talking about that with these two moving averages, the gray and the blue, and then we introduced the red. So again, what we're looking at are the three pillars for this. Number one is going to be the trend. We need to identify a direction that the market is going to go and keep going. If the market has got a trend that we know we can follow or tag along with, we are going to be able to hitch a ride. There's not going to be a whole lot of guessing as far as what direction the market's going to go. Now, we're going to need a good place to enter the trend. So what we're looking for is a pullback. We need the market to make a move and then come back so that it can make a move again. Once we are overextended, once we have made a move, we are unsure if the market is going to be able to keep moving or if the market is going to retrace. So we need to find these areas that we would consider high probability areas for the market to move. Now, we know that the market does this zigzag pattern. Every trader that's read a trading book is familiar with this zigzag pattern. It zigzags its way up and it zigzags its way down. But too many traders look at this very lightly. They understand that this is what the market does, but they don't know that this is what we're capitalizing on. We're going to take advantage of this to make our money. So after we get that pullback in this zigzag pattern, we need an entry. We need a signal. So we're looking at trend, pullback, entry. Now, writing with my mouse is terrible, but you can read this. Trend, pullback, trade. So what we're looking for is an entry signal after a pullback. And these become the three pillars of your trading system. You want to identify the trend. And the way that I do this is with a couple different moving averages. You can do this with other tools. You can do this with the CCI. You can do this with a MACD. You can do this with a lot of different tools, but I like to use the two different moving averages. Now, the thing with moving averages is you need them to be a certain length. You don't want to have a moving average that is going to be so small that it does nothing for you. And you don't want a moving average that's so big that, again, it does nothing for you. So if we add a moving average to this, I'm going to make it pretty big. I'm going to make this moving average, let's put it at 1,000. That is not an uncommon moving average, but when you have a moving average that is this large, it is quite separated from the price. We get an idea of the trend direction if the price is above or below, but we miss an awful lot of this market movement. We've got the price below that 1,000 EMA right here, but we're going to miss a ton of this market movement in the opposite direction. We need a couple of moving averages that are going to give us an idea of the trend direction, but also give us opportunities to trade with that trend direction. Now, one of the biggest ones that I use is going to be the 200. We're going to establish that 200 as our go-to. So with this, I'm going to color this one gray. So we've got a 200 EMA. Now we could see a much better movement of the market versus this moving average. We can see that when the price is underneath, it does that zigzag pattern without getting too far away from it. And when it does cross, it gives us a zigzag pattern in the other way. So now we have a downtrend and we have an uptrend, and we have a downtrend in here, and then we have an uptrend. But we could see that how the market's moving, when we compare it to this 200 EMA, we can see that we do have clear trends that are tradable. When the market makes a retrace to that 200, it's not going to have to be huge, and we're not going to miss out on a ton of different trades. Now, in order to clean this up just a little bit more, we add that second moving average. So let's do that here. We're going to add a 50. And with that coupling, with that 200 and that 50 EMA, we have an idea of the trend. So now it's really clear what direction that market wants to move based on these two different moving averages. So when we have the 50 above the 200, we get this beautiful idea that the market wants to move up. When we get the 50 below the 200, we get this really nice idea that the market wants to go down. Now, with the trend, we are looking for, again, that zigzag pattern. When the market moves down, we're seeing this zigzag pattern. When the market moves up, we see this zigzag pattern. So what we're looking for now are pullbacks. We've got the trend. Now we need a pullback. And with this zigzag pattern, we know a couple of different things. We have a moving average. The price moves away from the moving average and it gets to the moving average. It moves away and it gets to, and it moves away and it gets to. That is something that we have with this 50 EMA. We know that the market gets away from it and then gets to it. And in a downtrend, it's the same thing. Market moves away from it, gets towards it, moves away from it, gets towards it, moves away from it, and it repeats that pattern. Sometimes it gets to the moving average. Sometimes it gets a little bit past the moving average. Sometimes it doesn't quite get to the moving average, but we have that pattern and it's predictable and it's repeatable. We get the price moving away from and then to those moving averages. That 50 is a really nice example of a moving average that follows the dynamic of the market. Where the price isn't going to get all the way to the 200, it will get all the way to or very close to that 50. Now with this, we have an idea of a market that is overextended and we have an idea of a market that is in its prime for some kind of trade. So when we see this trend, we've got this downtrend in here. We have a market that pulls away from the EMA. We get a market that moves back into that EMA. It pulls away, it gets back into, it moves away, it gets back into. And we could see this repeated pattern over and over and over again. Now, when we are looking at this, we have an idea that when the price is away from the moving average, this is not a good place to take a trade. Price is away, this is not a good place to take a trade. Price is away, this is not a good place to take a trade. And we see that over and over. What happens is the market needs to retrace back into that moving average. When the market's away from that 50 EMA, we're looking at something called an overextension. The market is overextended. The best way to determine an overbought and an oversold market is by seeing where it's positioned in regards to a medium-term moving average. And with that, you can tell when the market's overextended and when the market is not overextended and ready for a trade. All right, so we've got an idea for the trend and we've got an idea for the pullback. And now we're looking for part 3, the third pillar, is we're looking for a signal. There's a ton of different ways you can do that. We have a whole bunch in Ultra Blue. We have RSI, QTI, switch, zone trade. There's a ton of different ways that we can get into a trade. So when you've got a bunch of different tools at your disposal, you want to pick one that you really like, one that works best for you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on an extra moving average. And that is going to be the tool that I use in this example. I'm going to put on a 13 SMA. I'm going to make this one an SMA because I like the smoother aspect of the SMA. We are looking for the signal at this point. This is pillar number 3. We've got the trend as pillar number 1. We've got the pullback for pillar number 2. And now we're looking for a trade opportunity with pillar number 3. And with this 13 EMA, we have these things called a zone trade. The price gets in towards that 50. So we've got the pullback. We know the direction of the trend as the 50 is above that 200. Or we can do this in a manner that's called a tradable trend where the price is above the 200 and the price is above the 50. So if you have the price above those two different moving averages, you can consider that the trend is up and we'd be looking for those buy trades. So right in here, we're looking at signals. We're looking for a way to get into a trade that will be considered confirmation. Now there's a couple of different ways that we could do that with this 13 EMA. What we're looking for is the price to get into that zone, the space between the 13 and the 50, and then close outside the zone. And that gives us a signal that we could use in order to take a trade. So we've got the trend, we've got the pullback, we've got the trade, and this does not have to be with these moving averages. You could use different tools to do this, but you're going to find when you take a look at most successful trading systems, they are going to have you first establish a trend. Second, they're going to have you establish a pullback of some kind. And then 3, they're going to have you getting a signal or a trade. You're looking for a way to get into the market at the best possible places. You're looking for a trend, you're looking for a pullback, and you're looking for a trade. Now it gives you that zigzag pattern that everybody's aware of, but so few people are willing to take advantage of. Now, not everybody uses moving averages, and I feel that you should at least have one moving average that is a medium-ish term moving average so you get an idea of what an overextended market looks like. When you have the price that's moved away from the moving averages, it has to move back. It is not normal for a market to move away from the moving averages and just keep moving away. It has to make these pullbacks. It has to come back into these moving averages before they continue to move. So what we've been looking at here are simply the 3 pillars to making a trading system work. You want the trend, and we have that with these 2 moving averages. You want the pullback. We get the market moving away and then coming back into the moving averages. And then you want the trade. You have a signal. Now, again, there's a million different ways to get a signal on this. They could all be price action signals, be an indicator type of signal, support and resistance, trend lines, RSI, switch, dots, QTI. We've got a ton of different ways to get into trades with a ton of different indicators in the UBFX members area. Grab any one of those and you're going to find that as long as you're doing the whole trend, pullback, trade scenario, that your trades are going to be much higher probability. You're going to start winning more trades than you start losing, and you'll finally start seeing the results you're looking for. Now, I did mention that the 13 EMA can serve multiple purposes here. What I want to show you right just now is one of those additional features that 13 moving average will do for us. We get an idea like this. We have that idea that the trend is intact because of these two moving averages, the 200 to 50. We've got this down trend, and a technical trend is when the 13 is under those other two moving averages. When that 13 rises up and gets in between those two moving averages, we've got this short-term trend and this longer-term trend conflicting with each other. The shorter-term trend would be the 13 and the 50 together, so we'd have an idea of what the short-term market is doing. But when the short-term is up and the long-term is down, we generally get an area like this where the market just ping-pong balls back and forth. We get this ping-pong ball effect is what I call it. We get the market stuck in between these two trends until it sorts itself out, usually in the trending direction. Take a look at an area like this. We see that the market is stuck in this sideways range, and for the majority of the sideways range, we see that the 13 is in between the 50 and the 200, and as a result, we get that ping pong ball effect. The market is just bouncing around back and forth. Where you take a look at the market a little bit earlier, look at this over here, we see that the market is in a trend, and we're in a technical trend as all the moving averages are in order, and the market moves really, really nicely. We get these beautiful moves away from the moving averages and then back to the moving averages, and then away and then back to, and we get signals in here and we get signals in here. They could be elimination trade signals, they could be fusion trade signals, they could be RSI, they could be QTI trade signals. Whatever the case is, these signals, when they show up in these prime locations or the sweet spots, we have a high probability trade. Now, this is why I consider the trend pullback trade to be my three pillars. Every good trading system that I've ever built is based largely on those three pillars. And as long as you're using those three pillars in your trading, you should be much more successful because you are trading now high probability areas in a high probability direction. Take advantage of the trend, the pullback, the trade. You can adjust these moving averages to anything you like, and you can add different indicators as long as you understand what it is you're looking for. You're looking for the trend, you're looking for the pullback, and you're looking for the trade signal to go long or short in that trending direction.